As Europe's energy costs skyrocket, Russia is burning off large amounts of natural gas, an estimated $10 million worth of gas every single day. The first signs came from Finnish citizens over the nearby border, who spotted a large flame on the horizon. Reports say that the plant is burning what would have been previously exported to Germany. Scientists are concerned about the large volumes of carbon dioxide and soot it is creating, which could exacerbate the melting of Arctic ice. The regional governor says Ukraine has begun trying to resume operations at 2 reactors at the Russian-held Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in southern Ukraine. The plant's 6th reactor is now working at 10% capacity, while the 5th reactor is in the process of resuming operations. It comes after President Volodymyr Zelensky said Europe faced the prospect of a radiation disaster on Thursday when the plant was disconnected from Ukraine's power grid. He said it was only due to backup electricity kicking in that the Zaporizhia plant was able to operate safely. Fires had earlier damaged overhead power lines, cutting the plant off. There is growing concern over fighting near the complex, which is the largest nuclear plant in Europe. Pakistan's climate minister says more than 33 million people have been affected by historic rains and floods. Since June, more than 900 people have died in monsoon rains and floods that continue to break weather records. Pakistan's climate minister Sherry Rehman said the government was battling with a climate-induced humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. The cash-strapped nation has called for additional international aid. French President Emmanuel Macron has said during a visit to Algeria that the two countries should move beyond their painful shared history and look to the future. At a joint news conference with his Algerian counterpart, Mr. Macron announced that a joint Franco-Algerian commission of historians would be set up to study archives on French colonial rule in Algeria. This would include the bitter 8-year war that led to Algerian independence 60 years ago. Relations between the two countries have been fraught for decades. Britain's Prince Harry says he wished his children could have met his mother, Princess Diana, and hoped the 25th anniversary of her death next week would be a day filled with memories and love.
My dear friend Prince Saso and I founded...
Harry was speaking at a dinner after competing in a polo match in Carbondale, Colorado, on behalf of the Senate Bail charity that he founded in 2006, with Lesotho's Prince Siso to help children and young people.
Next week is the 25th anniversary of my mother's death, and she most certainly will never be forgotten. I want it to be a day filled with memories of her incredible work and love for the way that she did it. I want it to be a day to share the spirit of my mum with my family, with my children who I wish could have met her. Every day, I hope to do her proud. She was tireless in her work to support and destigmatize those experiencing HIV and AIDS.
Britney Spears has released her first new music since being released from a conservatorship that controlled almost every aspect of her life. Hold Me Closer, a duet with Sir Elton John, hit streaming sites today, marking Spears' return to music after a 6-year hiatus. The song incorporates 3 of Sir Elton's classic hits, Tiny Dancer, The One, and Don't Go Breaking My Heart, over a club beat. It's pretty damn cool that I'm singing with one of the most classic men of our time, she said ahead of the release. I'm kind of overwhelmed. It's a big deal to me. And finally, moviegoers boarded boats floating on the waters of Venice to enjoy the first screening of the festival, The Floating Cinema Unknown Waters. Aboard rowing boats, motorboats and gondolas, spectators sailed into the sunset to reach the floating platform where the screen was positioned. When evening light fell, viewers could not only watch the movie, but also enjoy the breathtaking view of Venice in the waters behind. It's ahead of the International Film Festival, which will open its 79th edition on Wednesday. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.